Happy Valentine's Day, you filthy, filthy lot. It's the season of love. And as is always the case around this time of year, we here at Team TripleJump have been reminiscing about all of the hot tamales the video games industry has presented us with recently. Wow.
Honestly, 2024 was like a never-ending parade of sensual sirs, and we've had a real hard time narrowing it down to just 10 to include in our annual list.
So indeed, it is once again that time of year where we take a look back at the games of the last 12 months and compile our list of the sexiest beefcakes to grace our PCs and consoles. In order to qualify for a coveted spot, each character must have featured in a game released between February 2024 and January 2025, identify canonically as male, and, of course, be dripping with sex appeal.
Better get the cold shower running because things are about to get naughty. I'm Ben.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Ashton from TripleJump, and here are the 10 hunkiest video game boys 2024 to 2025.
Number 10. Dr. Alan Hill, Until Dawn Remake. We've been fans of Psychiatrist, and yes, we have spelled sexy with a P there for alliterative purposes, Dr. Alan Hill, ever since Until Dawn was originally released in 2015. But due to the stupid rules we have to abide by, we've not been able to celebrate said sexiness until now, again spelled with a P. Thankfully, Until Dawn got a remake in 2024, so not only can we include him on this list, but we've gotten to enjoy his visage in all of its retouched gloriousness.
Hard on.
Players meet this sophisticated shrink near the beginning of Until Dawn, where he spells out for them the rules of engagement, informing them that whilst it might be impossible to change the past, the future is theirs to dictate. Intelligent, caring, and a snappy dresser, the Alan Hill we meet in the game might be a figment of his patient Josh's imagination, but he seems real enough to us, and even if he's not, we won't be getting him out of our naughty dreams anytime soon. I mean, can you really blame us for how we feel here? After all, what is Alan an anagram of? Number 9. Harold Halibut. Harold Halibut. They say that confidence is key when it comes to finding a romantic partner, but here at Team TripleJump we believe in equal opportunities, which means that the shy and withdrawn Harold Halibut is more than welcome on today's list. A maintenance worker on the spaceship Fedora 1, Harold is the quiet and reserved type, so whilst you probably wouldn't catch him out on the dance floor in a nightclub or schmoozing in a bar, he'd be just the kind of guy to snuggle up with on the sofa with a movie and a glass or two of wine.
I can't really do it from this distance, but I'm doing my best.
Harold is also a maintenance guy, which means one thing and one thing only. He's good with his hands. If he can take apart bits of a spaceship and put them back together, just think of all the things he could do to your bits. And after being stuck in a tin can at the bottom of an alien ocean his whole life, he's probably itching for a bit of human connection. Oh, and those bags under his eyes, don't worry about those. They're just an indicator of a guy who's happy to stay up all night, if you catch my drift. Number 8. Midra, Lord of Frenzied Flame, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. You know what sucks about dating these days? Everyone looks so human. Don't get us wrong, there's nothing wrong with looking like a person, but sometimes we just want a bit more variety in our lives. At first glance, Midra, Lord of the Frenzied Flame from Elden Ring's Shadow of the Erdtree expansion might look like a relatively normal, albeit slightly skinny and pallid, bloke. Upon closer inspection, however, you'll see that this bony boy has a few body modifications. Some regular guys might have the odd piercing and or tattoo here and there, but nobody does body adornments quite like Midra, whose big old thorn sword is impaled right through his head and out of his rib cage. How alternative. We love it. Plus, if you can get him to open up to you, he'll pull his own head right off and replace it with a huge flaming sphere. Perfect for hotting things up in the bedroom. Though he's a bit of a fiery chap at first, with enough patience, we're sure that the right guy, gal, or other could get Midra to embrace his more romantic side. And, if you're really lucky, he might just give you a little prick.
Number 7. Pyramid Head, Silent Hill 2 Remake. If you're a regular connoisseur of our Hunky Boys lists, you'll know that we featured Pyramid Head a couple of years ago. There's nothing in the rules that prevents us from appreciating a hunky boy more than once though, and after the glow-up he got in the Silent Hill 2 remake this year, how could we not show him some love? Pyramid Head is the manifestation of James Sunderland's guilt over the death of his wife, which is all a bit depressing to be honest, but he's also there to punish him over it. Now, James might not be too pleased about that, but if there's a bit of punishment going, we have been very naughty indeed. A man of few words, Pyramid Head can often be found brooding in dark places, probably contemplating things like, how did my muscles get so big, and am I greased up enough? Though he's a little quick on the draw with that big old knife, and we're hoping that size is not compensating for anything else, we still live in hope that Pyramid Head will find his way out of James Sunderland's nightmares and into our dreams. We're not sure if he actually does have a head under that great big helmet, but not to worry, because speaking of helmets, he need only come to us for any head-related requests. Number 6. Emric Volcarin, Dragon Age The Veilguard. Those of you who are still in the market for a bit of love this Valentine's Day should perhaps direct your attention towards Dragon Age The Veilguard, a game that is positively bursting with eligible bachelors. Our pick of the sexy bunch, however, is Emric Volcarin, an intelligent, eloquent, mature fellow who really puts the romance in neck romance-y. Raised by the Morn Watch following the death of his parents, Emric is a gentleman and a scholar in the truest sense. Devoted to protecting innocence from the occult and keen to understand the mysteries of the Fade, Emric is the perfect man to defend us from all the nasties lurking in the Dragon Age universe. He's not so hard on the eyes either, that natty mustache gets us every time, and is always dressed to impress, so whether you're planning a dinner date at an upscale fancy restaurant, a few quick drinks down the local tavern, or a cozy night in curled up by the fireplace with a brandy or two, this debonair gent is going to be a feast for the eyes. It's probably also worth mentioning that Emric has his very own skeleton assistant, so if nothing else, he definitely knows his way around a bone. Number 5. Sorcerer Lord Imura, Warhammer 40k, Space Marine 2. Here at Team TripleJump, we just love ourselves a man in uniform. And uniforms don't come much more elaborate than those worn by the hotties of the Warhammer 40k universe. What we also love, though, is a bit of a bad boy, and well, they don't come much badder than Sorcerer Lord Imura of the Thousand Suns Chaos Legion. Okay, so does he intend to use the Aurora device in order to open a large warp portal which would allow all manner of beasties into the universe? Yeah, maybe, but hey, at least he has ambition, am I right? And there's nothing hotter than a gent who knows what he wants and will stop at nothing to get it. With consent, obviously. What's particularly great about Sorcerer Lord Imura, though, is that he has psychic powers. And take it from me, my wife is always saying, I'm not a mind reader, you know, so this is definitely a positive. Had a bad day, for example? He already knows all about it and will presumably be ready with a hot bath and a nice glass of Chardonnay when you get home from work. Upset about something? He knows just what to do to make things better. A little shy about your freakier bedroom desires? Don't worry, he's already read your mind and knows all about them. Oh, actually, maybe this isn't such a good thing. Don't judge me, Imura. It also helps, of course, that he's got a very big staff. What? No, not like that. I mean, Ashton?
Number 4, Winston Jeeves, Tomb Raider 1-3 Remastered. It's been the best part of 3 decades since we first met our dear old Winston, Lara Croft's long-suffering butler, and we can't lie, we haven't been able to get him out of our minds the whole time. As a butler, Winston is a man who's used to tending to the needs of others, meaning that he's always going to be attentive to your wants and desires. His background as a soldier might also come in handy should you ever find yourself in need of protection. After all, it never hurts to have a man in the house who knows his way around a weapon or two. Yes, he's getting on in years and isn't the quickest on his feet anymore, but don't let that put you off, because what Winston lacks in youth and athleticism, he more than makes up for in experience. And let us tell you, you simply cannot underestimate the value of a man who knows what he's doing. And if things ever get a little too steamy, not that there is such a thing, but you know, just in case, you can always send him to cool off in the freezer for a bit. Beats a cold shower any day of the week. Number 3, pey'j, Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition. All the boys on this list so far have all had their strengths, but when it comes to sheer volume of hunk, not one of those lads can measure up to Beyond Good and Evil's pey'j. This beefcake, or should I say pork cake, is one of the most loving, caring gents in all of video gaming, running an orphanage on the planet Hillis with his niece Jade. When he's not being a big old softie and looking after the kids, pey'j can be found fixing things and doing a spot of inventing. So not only is he handy to have around the house if a fuse goes in the middle of the night, but he's also creative enough to come up with new and imaginative ways to please that special someone in his life. He might have a porcine look about him, but this stud's no pig. And whilst he may be a little rough around the edges, under those scruffy clothes is a gent who will always put you and your needs first. Also, not to put too fine a point at it, but we've heard he's really good in the bedroom. How could he not be? He's 100% pure pork after all. Number 2, King Shark. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. There are some out there who would say that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League isn't worth playing, and for the most part, we'd tend to agree. However, upon seeing the veritable smorgasbord of hunky boys on offer in the game, we'd be willing to change our position somewhat. Of course, if you're after the hunkiest boy of the lot, and you're looking for a man with a little bite, then you'll want to turn your attention to the moistest member of the Suicide Squad, King Shark. Standing at over 7 feet tall, King Shark is more than 300 pounds of pure muscle. Whoa. Unlike a regular shark, he has both arms and legs, which would lead us to suspect that he has other human appendages too. He's also got bulletproof skin, which should come in handy should any of his past nemesis come knocking. And should things ever get into the BDSM territory, he'll be able to take those whips and paddles like a champ. Just be careful when you go in for a kiss, or do any other mouth stuff. I'm sure he'd never do anything intentionally, but it would be a bit of a bummer to end the date in A&E with certain bits of you in a baggie full of ice.
Number 1. The Squirrel. Squirrel with a gun. We're usually fans of the phrase bigger is better here at Team TripleJump, but this year we found ourselves getting all hot under the collar for a guy who's a little more diminutive. That's right, the TripleJump Award for Hunkiest Boy of 2024 to 2025 goes to none other than the fuzzy, pistol-toting protagonist of last year's strangest title. Don't worry though, as weird as Squirrel with a gun might be, we're about to make things a whole lot weirder.
We'll get the obvious out of the way first. Being a creature of the Ciaran variety, you just know that the squirrel has plenty of experience gobbling nuts. We're not completely shallow though, and we're aware that a romantic partner needs to bring more to the table than just an ability to fit a lot of things in their mouth, though talent in that area is always greatly appreciated. But this is, naturally, where the gun comes in.
Indeed, this furry little hottie is packing in more ways than one, meaning that not only can he climb that thing like a tree, but he's also a capable protector. Plus, if he's able to hang on to that massive Glock, just imagine what else those tiny hands can do.